Hello, and welcome to this lesson of Excel tips and tricks. In this lesson, we are going to learn ways to use the conditional formatting tool in Excel. The conditional formatting tool can be used for many different functions within Excel. To see the different options, first go to the Home tab in Excel, then click on the arrow next to the conditional formatting button. Here you can see 5 different categories. Next, we are going to go through some examples for a few of the different categories. Here is a basic table with resource name, personnel number, department, start date, level, cost rate, and bill code. We're going to quickly display a few data points within the table using conditional formatting. First, let's take a look at cost rate. Let's find anyone whose cost rate is over $100. First, you need to highlight cells G4 through G25. Go to the conditional formatting, highlight cell rules, and click greater than. Enter $100 since that's the data point we want to find, and you can see that the conditional formatting has already gone to work. It's identified 5 resources whose cost rates are over $100. Now the default formatting is light red fill with a dark red text. We can change that, but for now, let's keep it that way. Now let's take a look and find how many CTS resources we have. We'll follow the same process, highlighting D4 through D25. Go to the conditional formatting, highlight cell rules, and rather than going greater than, we're going to click the text that contains. Type in CTS, and rather than the light red fill with the dark red text, let's go ahead and do a custom format and make it a nice blue. Here you can see it's identified several resources who have the CTS name. Now let's go ahead and find how many resources started in 2007. We're going to select cell E4 through E25, go to the conditional formatting, highlight cell rules, and click between. Here we can enter in our dates. As you can see, I've entered in 1/1/2007 and 12/31/2007, and we're going to fill this with a yellow fill and dark yellow text. As you can see, it found 2 resources who started in 2007. One of my other favorite tools in this section is highlighting duplicate cells or values. Let's go ahead and look to see if there are any duplicate resource names. First, let's highlight B4 to B25. Go to conditional formatting, highlight cell rules, and duplicate values. And let's go ahead and do a custom format and highlight these as red. Here you can see there are 4 duplicate values which are 2 duplicate names. If we are looking at the data and want to make sure everything's correct, we can either update those names to be the proper ones or delete those rows. We've now applied 4 different criteria in the conditional formatting to this table. If we want to add some more data, we need to remove some of the other conditional formatting. To do this, go to conditional formatting and click on the manage rules. Here we can see all the rules that have been applied to the table. You can see here that there are none actually shown, which means we need to update the current selection to this worksheet. And here are all the formulas that we've applied. To delete rules, simply highlight the rule and click delete rule. We're going to remove all the rules that we previously went through. And hit the apply. Now that you've seen, they've all disappeared. The next functionality will help you see if there are cost rates that are above or below average. We're going to highlight cells G4 to G25, go to conditional formatting, highlight top or bottom rules, and do above average. As you can see here, it's highlighted all the cell values that are over the average of the group. We can do the same with the below average. Let's format this one light green fill. Now you can quickly see what cost rates are above average and what cost rates are below average. I'm going to now remove these. After you practice a few of these different formats, you may want to go a little bit deeper into those. So hold on to your laptops, it's about to get real. This next section is not for the faint of heart. In the previous examples, we've only highlighted single cells at a time. But let's say you would like to highlight the entire row based on a specific formula. This can be accomplished by using the use a formula to determine which cells to format function in the new formatting rules. Using our previous example, let's highlight all rows where the cost rate is greater than $100. To do so, let's test our formula. First select cell G4 and go to the conditional formatting and click the new rule. In here, let's select the use a formula to determine which cells to format. In this section, let's enter equals $G4 greater than 100. And then I'm going to format it to be a nice light yellow. As you can see, it's highlighted the cell as this is over $100. Next, let's apply it to all of the different rows. Let's go back to our conditional formatting, manage rules, click on the rule that we just entered, go into the applies to, and let's enter the entire table. Click apply, and as you can see, it's highlighted the 5 individuals we identified earlier, but it's highlighted the entire row. This can be very useful, especially if you have a very large set of data, so it highlights the entire row rather than just the values. When working with conditional formatting, remember that rules will always apply in sequential order from the bottom to the top, so that the top rule will be applied over all the other rules. This will impact the final results of the rules. As a quick example, I'm going to lay in 2 new rules on top of our previous one here that highlights anyone over $110 and anyone over $125. I'm going to format the ones for over 110 as a brighter yellow. Then I'm going to create a new rule. And I'm going to highlight the ones over 125 as a dark red. Now we need to apply each of these rules to the entire table. And let's go ahead and see how we did. As you can see here, all 5 individuals who were highlighted before are still highlighted, just with different colors. We can see the ones that are above 100 but still below 110 as the light yellow that we identified before. The one that is over 110 but not over 125 is highlighted as a brighter yellow, and the one that's over 125 is a dark red. Now, let's see what happens if I switch the order and apply the 110 over the 125. You can see that the 130 value turns back to the bright yellow. What's happened here is it's first applied the light yellow, then on top of that it's applied the red, and then on top of that it's applied the bright yellow. So typically, as a rule of thumb, you want to apply the most restrictive criteria last. In this case, it's the greater than 125. So let's move that back up and click the apply. And there you go. Now you've seen several different functionalities of conditional formatting. I hope this has been useful to you and that you'll be able to use it to ensure that your future financial presentations are well conditioned. Thank you for watching this lesson of Excel tips and tricks. We hope you found this information helpful. Visit the Finance Community YouTube page to find more lessons.